was dark, it's night, and I can't see the world. It was dark and I could not have access to information. It was dark because I could not read the history. The first thing that we need to bear in mind, I don't know if I'm right, doctors must be here or students, medical students. When you talk of a disease, there must be a cause of a disease, symptoms and signs. When we are talking of AIDS in the world, HIV and AIDS, when we are talking of an outbreak, as much as we make noise on that, the only solution is going back to the source, to the cause, to the contributing factors. And this is where the world and writers don't want to do. So we make noise based on hate. I say it's a Muslim. All Muslims are there. I can do the same. I can do the same. We Muslims have memorized the events right from Russia to British, right from America to Africa, right from injustice amongst Muslims themselves. Some people don't talk like that. Muslims are bad guys. They hate Christians, they hate Jews. We Muslims say that there are Muslims who hate Muslims. We say that. There are Muslims who are causing problems. We are saying that. Other denominations don't want to talk like that. Because we want to create a scapegoat politically and economically. And the best tool we can use is religion, and the best candidate in the 21st century is Islam. Whatever we are discussing here is beyond what you read from Al-Bakuki Journal. It's beyond even what our president, and I respect our president. In fact, he's my buddy, he's my Kenyan man. I know Americans still have a problem with his birth certificate. But we Kenyans know that he was born. But giving a speech for 30 minutes to address what is happening between Iraq and Syria is not enough. It's beyond that. Let us be sincere. Your security is mine and mine is yours. So the point is, what contributed to this? American intellectuals and professors, American politicians, American economists are saying that we in fact contributed to that when we invaded Iraq with the pretext of finding, smelling, and found weapon of mass destruction. When Bashar Assad in Syria caused atrocities against his own citizens, and we were not swift to help, this contributed to ISIS. It evolved from a tiny group to what it is today. Why are we hesitant to save Syrians from the repression of Bashar Assad? He's using all the weapons of mass destruction. He's using every dangerous weapon, every poisonous weapon to keep his throne. Why are we hesitant? So this created opposition in tiny groups, and it led to what is happening today when they found themselves helpless. Invading Iraq also contributed to this. When a group of Shia were given power and Sunni were oppressed, women are being raped in prisons. Women are raped 10 times a day, some of them, with the soldiers. People are killed and burnt alive by the government. Why aren't we swift enough to help them? We are the superpower. Why can't we use our power to save Syrians? Because had we done that, we would have not been discussing ISIS today. And also, had we not promoted it in Iraq, so I'm talking of the symptoms. I'm talking of when we diagnose what is happening, we will find that it is a result of something. My brother, it is economic, it is political. This is what has caused what we are discussing today. I just wanted to elaborate and answer your question.
Other questions? Don't be shy. Okay, any final thoughts or any other thoughts? Our panel? Thoughts that will incite questions from the audience?
What is the relationship of Muslims and non-Muslims? I think you want to know this. If you have Professor Google, you know the Dr. Google, and I know most of us have smartphones. Google Quran chapter 60, verse number 8. God says that we should be kind to those who don't fight us, those who don't kick us out of our homes. We should be kind, we should be just, we should be righteous, we should be generous. I quoted a verse in the Holy Quran, chapter 3, verse 64, confirm it with me. Where Quran is inviting people in dialogue. Let us talk, but let us be just. Let us be respectful. You see, the problem is some individuals have fueled what is happening today. Do we Muslims deny the fact that injustice has been done? I'm repeating that some Muslims have transgressed the boundaries. They have violated the rights of Muslims and some non-Muslims. But let us be serious. What is happening in Palestine? Is it right? What is happening in Central Africa? Who knows Central Africa? What is happening in Central Africa? You know, some people, not all Americans, some Americans think that Nairobi, Kenya, is the continent. And Africa is a street like San Mateo in Africa. And that Africans don't have homes. Africans are living on the tree. We are still drinking from the river. And Nigeria is the capital city of Nairobi. And Tanzania is the street in Abuja in Nigeria. You find this person want to talk about Africa with zero knowledge. You need two America to make one Africa. The point I'm making is what is happening in Central Africa. A war. Christians are murdering Muslims. Do we say Christians? I say some individuals who are using the name of Christianity. Who knows Uganda as a country? Uganda. Who knows Uganda? Who is the president of Uganda? At least Africans knows who is the president of America. Who is the president of Uganda? Idi Amin, right? Who agrees with me? Idi Amin. Obote. Who is the president of Uganda? I want to give you an information that you need to know. If there is a country to which our government has sent a tiny expedition or military, in the 21st century, then that country is Uganda. They only sent 100 military men in Uganda, only 100. Why did they send 100 soldiers in Uganda? You know why? anyone amongst my audience who can answer this. Why did the government send 100 soldiers to a country called Uganda in East Africa? Who can answer this? Yes.
Diamonds?
Brothers say diamonds. Of course, that is a reason, but it is a 10th reason. But it can also be the first one. Why did the government, what was the reason why the government sent 100 soldiers to a tiny country called Uganda? Uganda is in the East Africa.
Train Ugandan military.
He said to train Ugandan military, that is the reason, but it is not the real reason. From White House, I'm quoting White House. Yes.
Capture or kill the Lord's regional army.
Thank you. To come and finish the business of Lord's resistance army, the army of the Lord existing in Uganda. They are using 10 commandments to rape, to create child soldier, to abuse, to violate in the name of Jesus. It has never ever made the headline. Now, it doesn't mean that Christianity condones that. It does not mean that Judaism also condones that. But the name has been used. As I say, you will find some Muslims who have used the name of Islam. You will find Christians who have used the name of Christianity. And you find Jewish who have used the name of Judaism to commit such crimes. You will find people who say, I don't belong to any religion, but they are killers and criminals. You will find Buddhists who have used the same name of Buddha. This is the reality that we need to table when we are discussing this thing. And so I know there is another question, but it is worth mentioning that when Prophet Muhammad was sent, we Muslims believe that he is the last prophet of God. Christians may disagree, Jewish may, but we Muslims, that is part of our faith. When he was sent, when he started inviting people to worship one God, to peaceful religion, I, Muslim, am a human being, I may not be peaceful. But Islam is a peaceful religion. I may be violent, and also I may be peaceful, based on my weakness, based on right or wrong decision that I made. His people persecuted him for 13 years. Prophet Muhammad never ever lifted his hand against them. Instead, he instructed his companions to migrate to Africa, Ethiopia. After that, he himself left Makkah temporarily to a place called Taif, running away from persecution. After 13 years, Prophet Muhammad left his home to a place called Medina. When was war justified in Islam? What people don't understand, they say Muhammad is the source of chaos in the world. They quote some verses in Quran, kill them all. I can do the same. If you have Bible, I can do the same as I'm sitting here. In the Old Testament, I find that almost all these prophets fought. Abraham fought, Moses fought, all these prophets, Ezekiel fought. Does it mean that they were killers and murderers? What were the circumstances? Book like Deuteronomy chapter 13 verse 13. Second Chronicles chapter 15 verse 12. If I want to misquote the verses, we are not going to sleep here. Because I find that the entire city should be wiped. Even chicken, everything should be wiped. Is the Bible a book of murderers and killers? We don't reason like that. What were the circumstances? So Prophet Muhammad migrated to Medina to practice peace, to practice religion peacefully. When he was followed by his enemies, God told him to defend himself. Quran chapter 2 verse 190. قاتلوا الذين يقاتلون fight those who fight. Fight those who, it was on defense. If Islam was promoting more, then we would have started from Mecca. Please, putting one verse and saying that is Islam and Quran is this is not going to help. I can do that in Talmud, I can do that in Old Testament, I can do that in New Testament. As for my enemies, Book of Luke chapter 19 verse 27, as for my enemies who do not want me to rule over them, bring them here and slay them in front of me. This is Luke, New Testament. Do not think that I came to bring peace in the world. Matthew chapter 10 verse 34. We cannot quote and paste and do this to bring peace in the world. Let us be just enough. Let us be reasonable enough. Let us really promote understanding and justice. And let us balance our discussion. Otherwise, we are causing chaos and we are all family. We are all neighbors and we live in one country.
Okay, any questions?
I just had a question regarding the Bible. Would you say that the Bible and Christianity came from Islam?
Okay, would I say that Bible came from Islam, right? Is that the question? I want to take you back to the world religion studies. World religion studies. Some of the mistakes made is that when they introduce Judaism, they say the founder is Moses. When they introduce Christianity, they say that a man behind it is Jesus. That may be their opinion. But when it comes to Islam, they say that a man behind it or the founder is Muhammad. This is not true according to our faith. I want to generalize the answer and then I want to summarize. This is not what our faith says. Quran chapter 42 verse 13. 42:13. God tells Muhammad that the same religion which was given to Noah is the same religion which has been sent down to you, Muhammad. And it is the same religion which was given to Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. That all of you be firm and steadfast in that religion and do not divide. We Muslims believe that Islam is the same religion given to Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. What is the meaning of religion? What we should understand, sometimes we impose our terminologies on other cultures or denominations. I may say religion, it may mean something to you and something else to you. So ad-din, religion means a way by God or a way from God that leads to God. So when I talk about religion, I'm talking of the way from God that takes me back safely and securely to God. I believe that that way was born a way of submission to the will of God. And so all prophets followed that path of God. What about the scriptures? Because we mentioned Bible. We Muslims believe that Quran, as the last testament, came to confirm and agree with the previous scriptures. Namely, what was sent down to Moses, Torah, what was sent to David, which is known today as Psalms, which was sent to Jesus, Injil, good news, book of guidance for Israelites, and also we believe in Quran. So Bible did not just come from Islam. We say that the teachings of God in it and teachings of prophets came from God to the prophets for the guidance, light, and the mercy for their people. We believe in that. Jesus existed before Muhammad. Moses existed before Jesus. So they had scriptures from God. We believe in the scriptures that they received from God and conveyed to their people. We don't have a problem. I don't know if I've answered your question. Yes.
You know, I understand where you're coming from, but then how could the Bible present something so diametrically opposed to what the Quran says, if indeed it came from the same source?
An example of what Bible presents.
Well, in the Quran it says the Christians, the people of the book, Christians and the Jews have gone astray. And it says it would have been better for them if they had, you know, maybe believed or done something else.
Okay.
What exact verse that was.
Okay. Whenever a prophet was sent by God, he had 3 missions, any prophet. The first thing that a prophet had to do was to correct the previous mistakes, not done or made by the prophet, but by followers who came some years after him. That is proven if you are a Bible reader. Whenever a prophet came, after the demise of another prophet, he had 3 missions. 1, to confirm the previous message, also by correcting some mistakes done by followers who came after him, who were not the first-hand recipients of that message. Secondly, they also came to outline the laws and guidance which the followers had to follow at his time. And number 3, he had to tell people of the hope and guarantee that God the Almighty gives them in this life and tomorrow after. Did Jewish have some tough conversation with Jesus during his time, thinking that he was opposing them? Yes. And how many times did he correct them? They felt they were right. They felt that they were following the Torah. But Jesus had to correct them many times. It does not mean that the teaching of Moses was wrong, but the followers who came after him, some of them, like it will happen in Islam today, the text is there, but somebody may misinterpret it. Somebody may just misconstrue it. Somebody may give it another understanding based on his desire, and he acts upon it. If another prophet had to come, he would have said, this is not what Prophet Muhammad taught. You have followed your desire. This is why there is that message in the Holy Quran. We feel through Quran that there were few teachings that were changed. And of course, you can invite me to discuss theological issues. I will tell you where we feel that maybe followers went wrong. Not Jesus, not Moses, not Abraham, but where do we feel that followers went wrong? For your information, I want you to read the book of Jeremiah, chapter 8, from verse 4. You will find that he says, how do we say that we are righteous? And that the law of the Lord is with us. But behold, the pen of the scriptures have turned it into lies. Why does he say that? Because some people came and used pen, used their desires, and used this and misinterpreted the religion.
So go ahead and expand on that just a touch.
You talk about the Quran, are you referring to the Welsh version or the Hafs version?
You mean?
In North Africa, in that area, you have the Welsh version of the Quran, which has been not destroyed by the third caliph.
So we need to understand this in Quran. Thanks for asking this deep question. When you mention Welsh and the Hafs, those are not, in fact, versions of Quran. They are recitations of Quran. We have 10 recitations of Quran, 10 different recitations. How does it sound? For example, I say wal-duha, ha, right? Another recitation says wal-duhi, ha, he. That was necessary when Prophet Muhammad was receiving revelation from God. Because there were those 10 major tribes, and they had dialects. They had ways of pronouncing, and it does not change the meaning. So, in fact, in Islam today, I can lead prayer. In fact, we are praying 5 times every day. Congregational prayer, and then we pray more than that in any language. I can say, Wal-duha, Muslims will never have a problem with it. In the evening, I can say, Wal-duhi, Muslims will never have a problem with it. Wa-shamsi wa-duhaha, wa-shamsi wa-duhihi. There is no problem. So those are recitations, not Russian. That Quran in North Africa is part of my belief. Quran that I'm reading here, it is 114 chapters with just different dialects of the tribes, which does not change the meaning. So, Papa.
Any questions? Any comments, questions, concerns?
Howdy, thank you. So I'm going to take a look at the surah right here, the Quran, and what it has to say about the unbelievers and what it calls for you guys to do. It says, those who believe in fighting the Kalibah, that's 476. It says in 489, I don't have my glasses on, I apologize. They but wish that ye should reject faith as they do, and thus be on the same footing as they. Surah 495, not equal are those of the believers who sit at home, except those who are disabled. And those who strive hard and fight in the cause of all with their wealth and their lives. I can keep going, that one keeps going for a while against us. I say us as in Christians, me, myself, a Baptist. And be not weak-hearted in the pursuit of the enemy. If you suffer pain, then surely they too suffer as you suffer. And that one keeps going on too. The 533, the punishment of those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger and strive to make mischief in the land is only this, that they should be murdered or crucified, or their hands and their feet should be cut off on an opposite side, or they should be in prison. I can keep going. I have more and more and more verses, and also from the Hadith. I can keep going. I mean, that's what I'm trying to wonder here, what you guys are trying to put off as a peaceful religion that's going around killing homosexuals, that's killing people in Saudi Arabia and Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, where my family comes from. My family wins. I'm white from head to toe, but I'm a quarter Spanish and a quarter Syrian. My family tracks back in Syria, and it pains me. It makes me cry seeing what Muslims are doing. They're killing the Christians and beheading them and doing evil, vile things to them, raping and killing women. I mean, Jerome Cram talks about that if a woman is raped, that, excuse me ladies for using that word, I hate being a little mad, that, you know, she deserves to die. That Muhammad himself married a 6-year-old child and then consummated the marriage when she was 9. I mean, come on, people. I mean, who does that? Who does that to a poor, innocent little child? A child. I mean, I don't think you would do that yourself, sir, would say that marrying a 6-year-old child is good. I mean, you can look at the times being the times, but nowhere does it say that it's okay to marry a 6-year-old child, except when Muhammad said that was okay. They had to wait until she menstruated to have sex. And I can pull all these verses up. I have no problem doing it. But what do you guys have to say to defend that? What do you guys have to say to defend everything that is going on in the world, the honor killings in New York and Oklahoma, where people are being beheaded, and everything that is happening? Now, I'm not saying that all Muslims are evil. I won't say that. I won't say that every single one of you is terrible, nothing like that. But please try to defend these verses, and please don't say, oh, well, they're coming out of context, because I have over 50 verses I can pull up that are with this, that are also with the Hadith, and what Muhammad commands Muslims to do. That's where I'm trying to come from, sir. And I see this panel here, and I have no problem. You guys have the First Amendment right to do that because this is America, but please try to explain to me this, please.
Just to comment.